There is a simple habit, just 5 minutes a day, that completely changed the trajectory of my life. It's not a complicated system, nor does it require any special tools or training. In fact, it's so simple that most people overlook it, dismissing it as too basic to make a real difference. But I can tell you from my own experience that this tiny investment of time has paid off in ways I never could have imagined. It's become the anchor of my mornings, the foundation on which I build my days, and the secret weapon that has helped me achieve more than I ever thought possible. It is not complicated, but it works. I call it the power of clarity. Clarity is something we all crave, but so few of us actually take the time to create for ourselves. We live in a world that bombards us with information, distractions, and endless to-do lists. It's easy to feel lost in the noise, to wake up each morning already feeling behind, and to spend our days reacting to whatever demands our attention. But what if instead you could start each day with a sense of purpose and direction? What if you could cut through the chaos and focus on what truly matters? Every morning before I check my phone, before I speak to anyone, I sit quietly and ask myself one question. I make it a ritual, a sacred pause before the world rushes in. I don't let emails, notifications, or even the news invade this space. This is my time to connect with myself, to listen to my own thoughts, and to set the tone for the day ahead. It's a moment of stillness that grounds me, no matter what else is happening in my life. What is the most valuable thing I can do today to move closer to my goals? That is it. Just one question, but it's a powerful one. It forces me to cut through the clutter and identify what will actually make a difference. Not what's urgent, not what's easy, but what's truly important. Sometimes the answer is obvious, other times it takes a few moments of honest reflection, but every day I write it down, I make it real, I give it weight. You see, most people drift through the day, reacting. They wake up and immediately reach for their phones, letting other people's priorities dictate their own. They get swept up in the current of busyness, checking off tasks that may not actually move them forward. It's easy to confuse activity with progress, to feel productive while actually just spinning your wheels. I know because I used to be one of those people. My days were full, but my progress was slow. I was always busy, but rarely effective. But successful people begin with intention, and clarity is the starting point of all success. When you know exactly what you want to achieve, and you focus your energy on the actions that matter most, everything changes. You stop wasting time on things that don't serve you. You become proactive instead of reactive. You start to see results, not just effort. This is the difference between living by default and living by design. In those 5 minutes, I write down 1 to 3 key actions that will create the highest value for my life, my business, or my health. I don't try to do everything. I don't make a long list of chores. I focus on the few things that, if accomplished, will make the biggest impact. Sometimes it's a difficult conversation I've been avoiding. Sometimes it's a creative project that needs my attention. Sometimes it's simply taking care of my body or reaching out to someone I care about. The point is, I choose with intention. I commit to these actions and I make them my top priority for the day. Then, I do them first. Before I get pulled into the whirlwind of emails, meetings, and other people's requests, I tackle my most important tasks. This isn't always easy. Sometimes it means saying no to distractions or setting boundaries with others. But I've learned that if I don't put my priorities first, no one else will. By taking action on what matters most, I set the tone for the rest of my day. I build momentum. I prove to myself that I can be trusted to follow through on my commitments. Over time, this habit compounds. You become more focused, more productive, and far less stressed. The small wins add up. Each day you make a little bit of progress. Each week, you look back and realize how much you've accomplished. The stress of unfinished tasks and nagging doubts begins to fade. You start to trust yourself, to believe in your ability to create the life you want. And as your confidence grows, so does your capacity to take on bigger challenges. Why? Because you are no longer busy. You are effective. You're not just filling your days with activity. You're making real progress toward your goals. You're not overwhelmed by endless to-do lists, because you know what matters most. You're not constantly putting out fires because you've already taken care of the most important things. This sense of effectiveness brings a deep sense of satisfaction and peace. It's the difference between surviving and thriving. So I challenge you, take just 5 minutes, every morning, write down your number one priority, then do it. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start. Make it a non-negotiable part of your morning routine. Treat it as seriously as you would any important meeting or appointment. Protect this time fiercely, because it is the foundation of everything else you will accomplish. Success does not come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters, consistently. It's not about being perfect, or never getting distracted. It's about showing up for yourself, day after day, and making progress on the things that count. Over time, this consistency builds habits, and those habits shape your destiny. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight, you just need to start and keep going. This one habit can change your life, if you let it. Imagine waking up each day with a clear sense of purpose, knowing exactly what you need to do to move forward. Imagine the confidence that comes from keeping your promises to yourself, and the satisfaction of seeing real progress week after week. The power of clarity is available to anyone, at any time. All it takes is 5 minutes, a little bit of honesty, and the willingness to act. Try it for a week. See what happens. You might be surprised by how much you can accomplish, and how much your life can change, with just 5 minutes a day.